let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at race number 10 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. We'll throw up the field for the Grade 3 Sweetest Chant Stakes, going a mile on the turf. And Mike, as you mentioned, in the 3-year-old colt counterpart to this race earlier in the card, the Kitten's Joy, you're looking forward to a turf race with perhaps a little bit of pace. This race has to have some pace.
It really does. Both of these races for the 3-year-olds feel like there really could be some hitting going on early. That makes these it makes both of them very interesting races to me.
The 4 Conlima went gate to wire in her last 2 races. She's 5-2 on the morning line. But as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, she might have to deal with a quick stretch out sprinter. The 7 Lioness of Brittany is pretty fast. I wonder if Conlima is going to let that one go and try to get to the outside and relax in second.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they decide to play it with Conlima. I mean, certainly Conlima's looked like a little bit of a different horse in her 2 turf races where she was able to get control. It almost feels like that's impossible in here, Dan. I don't see how there's any way that Lioness of Brittany isn't showing speed in here.
A horse that would really appreciate if this red bar fast-paced scenario from Timeform US comes true is the 1, Queen of the Green, who has not run a bad race on the green, including this race, a maiden special at Tampa Bay Downs in December. She just blows this race open, and she goes on to win, I think, in very nice fashion. She didn't beat the strongest field in the world, but you give her some pace. I think she's a little bit underrated.
I agree with you. She just dominated this race. Then you can see that she gave this field really no chance to get involved in this thing through the stretch. And as you've already mentioned, that's all 3 times they've run around turf. She's run well in all of those races, and it feels like she keeps getting better. She's a very interesting long shot in here.
Honey Pants earned a big figure 2 starts back sprinting in the Stewart Manor Stakes at Aqueduct. And then they stretched her on distance for the first time in the Ginger Brew. She was the beaten favorite that day. Conlima beat her. I thought all in all the trip was okay. She saved ground for the early portion. She came 3-4 wide in the stretch, and she just wasn't as good as Conlima. But it was nice to see that at least she stayed the trip. She was pretty game for second.
Yeah, I thought she ran fine in that race. It didn't, necessarily make me want to run back to the windows and better again in a race like this one, but she ran fine in there. Her turf sprints are good. Her turf route was good. She's a horse who could certainly win this race with the right kind of a trip. I would want more than the 3-1 morning line. But again, you might do better than that in here.
Graham Motion having a nice meet at Gulfstream thus far. Sends out recent maiden winner Candace O. Let's watch Candace O's score at Gulfstream, going 7.5 furlongs. I thought she got a very nice trip and ride by Jose Ortiz in this race. She got up close to a very slow pace, 49 to the half. She sprints on home. She wins by a neck in a big blanket finish. Something tells me not only is the pace going to be a lot faster in this race, but the competition a lot tougher.
Yeah, that's what made it hard for me to take her, Dan. Listen, she's run fine basically in all of her races, but I didn't love her off of her first 2 starts, and she kind of took advantage to win last time.
Here's Conlima, jammed right back in the entries off 4 weeks rest for Todd Pletcher, scoring in the Ginger Brew last time out over Honey Pants. Let's watch that race. Paco Lopez just got this horse to the front, got her nice and relaxed, and Conlima does the rest, sprinting on home to win with an 83 buyer. Honey Pants is the number 3, the gray horse. She'll get up for second, not threatening Conlima. I like the Pletchers running this filly a lot. I think he has a feeling that maybe at the end of this year, they're going to catch up to her, or she's going to face a lot better. So why not strike while the iron is hot?
Yeah, that's true. And it's also, when you just go back and watch her 2 turf races so far, Dan, I mean, it's not like she's had to work hard in those races. She's just gotten to the lead and just had plenty left through the stretch of those races. It's supposed to be different in here. We'll see if it is. Listen, at the end of the day, maybe it just won't matter, Dan. She's been a lot better on turf than she was on dirt.
White Frost is a very dangerous contender in here for Bill Mott, despite a little bit of inexperience. This will be her first start against winners, but watch how she came home in her turf and route debut at Aqueduct last time out. White Frost is in behind horses. I thought the early part of the trip was good where she was able to save ground, but here she's in behind. They all get the jump on her, but watch once she alters into the clear. She's got work to do, and she fires in the stretch. She's going to get some pace this time around, and she's going to come kicking in the lane.
Yeah, this was a really impressive a win for this filly. This is her first time on turf and first time stretched out in distance. When you look at her pedigree, that's what she's bred for. She's bred to be a turf router. And she finally got on the grass last time. I was really taken by that performance there. She ran really, really well to win that race.
I thought Domain Expertise ran well in her career debut at Saratoga, going 2 turns. She faced a pretty talented stablemate and editor at large, and she showed a really nice turn of foot to get to the lead in upper stretch before being run down by the favorite. And they ran her on a yielding turf course after that. It didn't work out. Chad found a good spot for her final start as a 2-year-old. Let's watch that race at Tampa Bay Downs. She beat 2 next out winners. She really didn't break a sweat.
No, she didn't. She wins this race very easily. But, based off of the 2 races she ran last year, I don't think this is that much of a surprise because you're right. Her career debut at Saratoga was a really good performance. The Salima on yielding turf where she got caught up on the pace in a race that went to closers is easy to give her an excuse for. And she won that race there at Tampa as easy as you would want to see her win it. I mean, I thought she looked really good in there, and I'm not going to be surprised when she's a handful in a race like this either.
5-1, a fair price on the morning line. Let's watch Lioness of Brittany's last start, going 5/8 of a mile. She's won 2 in a row. She got right up close to the pace while 3 wide in this spot. She's going to burst clear of these other horses in the stretch and just hold on to win. She's done a little wrong in her career. The 77 buyer stacks up well. I have a lot of concerns about her facing other speeds going long, however.
Yeah, that's how I looked at her too. I mean, I'm not going to knock anything she's done so far sprinting. It just feels like she's landed in a pretty tough spot here, stretching out for the first time. And it's not like it's a race where you feel like she's just going to get loose on the lead.
Director's Cut ran well over the Gulfstream lawn last summer. Stakes placed in the Sharp Susan. Perhaps she was exposed in the Miss Grillo 2 starts back, although she was in against some good fillies in there, Plum Ali and the aforementioned editor at large. I thought her first start off a little bit of a layoff was somewhat promising for Mark Cassidy. Let's watch that race right now. Not worth of one other than she was basically working out a 3-wide trip throughout. You just saw her bump hard off Phantom Vision while beginning her bid in upper stretch, and she's going to get run down late by Mia Martina, who's a filly I think has a lot of promise.
Yeah, that's what I would take away from this race too. Director's Cut, rather, whether or not you think she had an excuse in there, she might have gotten run down by a really good horse in there. So we'll see what happens. I like the fact, Dan, that she has good tactical speed from an outside draw, and she'll probably be a fair price.
And if the pace does heat up, maybe she can come with a run as she did 3 starts back when earning the stakes placing. That's where I went as we take a look at our top picks. I think she's sure to be a price in here. White Frost, the 5, showed off such a strong kick. I want to use her as well. Conlima, the 4, we have her in our picks. I'm not sure I want to take her at a shortish price if the pace is going to be hot.
Yeah, if she's going to be the favorite, I would probably just try to beat her. I like White Frost. I liked her turf debut a lot. I'm very interested to see what she does in this tougher spot. And I also like the 6, Domain Expertise. The 5 and the 6 were my 2 horses in here.
And at 9-2 and 5-1 respectively on the morning line. Again, those are very square prices on 2 fillies that have shown talent. 5-6-4-8 for Mike, 8-4-5-7 for me. It's the Grade 3 Sweetest Chant Stakes at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. Race 10 is an approximate post of 4:18 Eastern. Good luck.